What if tomorrow morning you woke up and something ancient inside you was gone? No sound, no warning, no pain, just silence where a voice once lived. The voice that tightens your chest before a wrong step. The voice that slows your hand before fire. The voice that whispers don't before disaster. What if that voice disappeared? No panic, no hesitation, no inner resistance, only calm, perfect calm. Would that be freedom, or would that be extinction wearing a peaceful face? Because fear is not noise, fear is not chaos, fear is a system. Deep inside the human brain, a small structure works faster than thought, before language, before logic, before memory can explain what is happening. It does not ask questions, it does not seek permission, it reacts. Fear accelerates the heart before danger becomes visible. It redirects blood to muscles before the mind decides to run. It sharpens vision before words exist. Biology does not call fear weakness. Psychology does not call it disorder. Science calls it necessary. Without fear, reaction time slows, judgment weakens, risk becomes invisible. Fear teaches the child not to touch flame. Fear teaches the body to pull away from poison. Fear teaches the mind to recognize threat without explanation. Science is confident about one thing: fear keeps life alive. Now imagine it is gone, not reduced, not numbed, gone. A child walks into traffic without pausing. A hand touches fire without withdrawing. A body stands at the edge without calculating height. Pain still exists, damage still happens, but the warning never arrives. There is no inner brake, no hesitation, no invisible guardian. Everything feels equally safe, equally neutral, equally meaningless. And that is where collapse begins. The mind fractures first. Without fear, memory loses urgency, regret loses weight, consequences lose emotional gravity. You still know danger exists, but you no longer feel it. And knowledge without feeling does not guide behavior. The body follows. Bones break more often. Wounds deepen. Recovery slows, not because the body is weaker, but because caution no longer exists. Emotion collapses next. Love fades, because attachment requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires fear of loss. Without fear, parents stop protecting, partners stop guarding, promises lose seriousness. Identity dissolves, because identity is built on limits, and fear defines limits. A fearless human is not brave, they are unfinished. Society collapses quietly. Crime spreads, not from evil, but from indifference. No fear of consequence, no fear of harm. Law becomes symbolic, punishment becomes meaningless. Medicine fails. Patients ignore warnings. Doctors lose authority. Treatment loses discipline. Education collapses. Children take risks without restraint. Learning loses structure. Discipline becomes impossible. Economies destabilize. Resources are wasted. Planning disappears. Long-term thinking dies. War becomes constant, because fear of loss once prevented annihilation. Remove fear, and civilization stops preserving itself. Not dramatically, logically. Neuroscience reaches a dead end. Psychology falls silent. Biology delivers its verdict. A fearless human cannot self-regulate, cannot preserve life, cannot sustain society. Evolution never selected fear by accident. It selected it because life without fear does not survive long enough to evolve. Science does not worship fear, but it admits the truth. Without it, humans disappear. Now imagine another world, a world after death, a world where time no longer protects you, where consequences no longer wait. In the Akhirah, fear is not mercy, it is reality. No warning system is needed because nothing can be avoided. Fear there is absolute, not to protect life, but to expose truth. That is why humans cannot endure that level of fear here. This world was designed with buffers, with delays, with mercy. Fear here is limited. There it is complete. And only souls no longer tied to fragile bodies can endure it. Now the truth becomes heavy. Fear was never meant to torture you. It was meant to guard you. Allah placed fear before accountability, before judgment, before full awareness. Mercy first, then balance. Fear slows you down in a world where mistakes can still be corrected. It keeps you alive long enough to choose. Fear is not punishment, it is permission to survive. If fear vanished tomorrow, humanity would not rise, it would end, quietly. Some mercies do not feel gentle, some protections do not feel kind, but only when they are gone do you realize they were holding everything together.